Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In terms of announcements today before we start the game, there's nothing really much. We will be playing for an hour as usual, be taking a small break and then we'll be playing for another hour up until about 10:30 British time. And just as a reminder as well, our uploads are out now on every Thursday to YouTube as opposed to Tuesday, so expect that one coming. And that's everything. So Ian, kick us off with the game.
Okay, so to pick up from where we left over last week. In fact, before we do that, I'm in a good mood. So let's have a luck refresh. So can everybody make me a luck roll, please?
Yes.
What happened there? Seem to have lost.
God damn it, Cameron.
No, I'm back. Like that happened last time. Like because it was just when I moved over to my phone, you kind of can feel it dong, 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 and it just doesn't break. Like so, I just need to be able to call and come back in if it's going to work. Apologies.
Okay. Well, can you make a luck roll for me?
Me?
Yes.
Everyone.
And Mark.
What? Why am I making a luck roll? Sorry.
I
Good.
did.
A luck refresh.
Yep, we're getting a luck
Oh,
refresh.
sure. Smashing. Success for me.
So Mark, what did you get?
It didn't show, so let's try it again.
Yep. But you two that have succeeded get 1d10 plus 5 luck back.
One for me. So 12 luck back for me.
It always helps.
Damn, Mark. Coming in strong in that 100.
Well,
Ian, you've done it again. I'm
well,
telling you, you've done it again.
That's
well.
actually good for me.
That's very good for you in this situation because you've got a fumble. Right? Because you rolled over your luck, it would be 2d10 plus 10 luck back. But because it's a fumble and a natural 100, you'll get the maximum luck back. So you'll get 30 points of luck back.
Okay,
So it's
I can deal with that.
so it's a good fumble at this point in the game. But let's get it over there.
You need to start rolling better, mate. Honestly, like you'd be the worst person to take to the casino in the world.
It's Ian. I'm telling you, he's programmed this dice roller.
Nah, mate, you've just got shit luck. Deal with it. Because
So
that's me up to 91 luck again. I'm flying.
you may need it. As long as you've got more than 30, you're safe. So you're standing in this clearing, looking at this almost corkscrew-esque temple in front of you. You can see snakes moving through the grass, heading towards it. Quite a lot of snakes. The doctor identified some of the snakes as coral snakes or 20-minute snakes. Extremely deadly, as well as other vipers and other types of snakes all seem to be heading towards this temple, wriggling their way in through any little gaps in the walls. And what do you just want to do?
Kind of crouching behind where I am at the moment. I'll turn to the others. Are we planning to go in here right now, or are we going to go elsewhere?
Well, isn't the mission to go in, get the mummy, and come out again?
It is, but keep in mind when I saw my vision and I saw this sort of pentagram shape, there were a couple of the other excavation points, if we'll call them that, which were intrinsically linked, and there could be something that will help us in our journey when we're in there.
And there could also be more of that black goop, and we don't
There
have an
could- there
endless.
could-
We
there
don't
could
have an
be.
endless supply of dynamite either.
You've got a point. Victor, what's your thinking?
Are we really going to follow your witchcraft mumbo jumbo? We've got the temple right in front of us.
No. Maybe Joe. That's a very good point. For
You're
me,
out. Not you're outvoted. We're going in the temple right now.
I'm not
So
trying to fight against it. Okay, right, fine. Clearly, we've been outvoted. We're going in. I'm not going first.
How about
you are aware it's always the last man in the line that gets eaten first.
I'll go in the middle. You're a man of expertise. Francis, why don't you lead? We've seen your hiding skills.
I'm taking the snakes are heading in via small little cracks between the stonework. They're not heading in through a big main door.
No, yeah, the snakes are heading in through small little cracks, but as you look up over the temple, you can see what looks like a hallway in it, or a door, or some shape or form. It's further up the spirals.
Guess that's where we're heading.
Oh,
Find a way through the snakes is in the least busy, as far away from them as we can get.
DM, quick question. My magic points. I know I used some of it to put together Coyote Dust last time, but I think I did that when we were in the camp, if I was right.
Yep.
And there's been a fair bit of time since then. Would I have replenished back up to 15?
Yeah, let's just say yeah.
But then
Okay.
that would have been that I was on 7, so that would have been what, like 8 hours?
So say you're
Wait.
probably up at about 10 now.
10. Cool, got it. Got that.
Because it was in the morning you done the coyote this stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah. So by the
Yes.
time you've been to a ward, it's now late afternoon. So say 10, 11-ish.
Cool.
So you all
No
start.
worries.
So what's your marching order? Who's heading in first?
I'm going first.
Okay. Well, could you roll me a luck roll?
Oh no, fuck. Oh no.
Here we go.
Oh wow.
Nice.
One extreme to the other.
It's the only one he's getting tonight.
What, the only success
what?
of any form?
The fact that you've went on both opposite ends of the scale on your first 2 rolls is quite impressive. 100 followed by a 1. That's pretty good.
Okay. So as you start heading towards these temples, these snakes seem to be completely ignoring you. They seem to be more interested in actually getting into the temple. You slowly make your way up and up the spirals, further up, right almost to the top of the door is. As you look through the door, you can see there's a corridor heading down. It's a sloped corridor, and it seems to spiral round inside the temple as it heads down. You're standing at the doorway. You're waiting for the other two. Who's going to head up next?
I'll go next.
Well, could you give me a luck roll?
Dream success.
Yep, but great. As you're heading up, the snakes seem to be ignoring you as well. They're more interested in getting in the temple, and you make your way up to the doorway,
I'm gonna get fucking eaten though.
followed by the doctor, last but not least.
Hard success.
With a hard success again, the snakes ignore you as you make your way up to the doorway. And these are all standing at this doorway to the temple. You can see just at the side of the doorway some kind of locking mechanism. But the door's lying wide open, and this spiral leading down into darkness.
Well,
Is it just completely pitch black down below?
Yep.
See, looking in my bag, because I remember I raided the camp for a lot of supplies. Would I have had any what are they called? You know, the wee sticks that you crack, the lighty ones. What are they called? Someone help me.
They're not developed in this time.
Yeah.
we're in
Are
a-
they not?
No.
Would they not be around in this?
Oh well, no,
Okay.
no.
I mean, do you know what I mean? I'm no
You-
history expert.
You'd be lucky to get a battery powered torch. You'd be looking at a paraffin lantern.
Yeah, a battery powered torch is a new fangled device of the 1920s. So I think he's all had battery powered torches. You passed through luck roll the last time when you went down the tower. So you do have battery powered torches.
Unfortunately,
Yeah,
back then.
I've got a headlamp, but yeah.
Right.
Cool. Right. So you're looking in my bag, right? Would I have matches?
Yeah, you probably have a lighter or matches, yeah.
I'd like to kind of go into my bag, take out some matches, just light the match, and just kind of chuck the match in, and just see how far it goes down.
It falls about 2 or 3 feet in front of you. It's a spiral corridor heading down.
Do you know what I mean?
Okay. There's a long spiral corridor.
Oop.
He's dropped out again.
You touched your phone again.
Yeah, no, I touched my phone because like I don't know how much anyone heard, but I said I want to light a match and
Yeah.
throw it down,
Yeah.
Yep.
and then it was just silent for me, and then
Aye.
I was,
I went like that to you because I'm in front of you.
yeah,
And
I can throw past you. Do you know what I mean? You're not fucking like
have
30
you,
stone.
have you seen what happens when you throw a match into an old cavern? There's a chance that it goes kaboom.
I throw the match.
Luckily, as you throw the match in front of you, it lands on the ground just in front of Francis. You can see a slight flicker of a corridor gently sloping down, following almost the slope of the outside, further down.
I think I misunderstood this. I thought it like went down and
Yeah.
like into the abyss, and we couldn't see.
You can only see up to the corner point with your torch. Once you pass around the corner, you can't see anything.
It's not like a drop spiral. It's like a spiral that goes around the building to
Yep.
take you lower in there.
So when I throw my match, like, is that not went all the way down then?
No, you're on. It's a gentle gradient. It's
Right. Okay. Cool.
okay. It's only probably about 10-15 degrees.
Right. Okay. Right. Fair enough.
So it's only went
Okay,
about
like-
3 or 4 feet in front of Francis and
Okay.
spluttered out on the ground.
I might have misunderstood the construction of this here tower. Sorry, boys.
But Francis, you're standing at the front. You can see flashing your light around. You can see this tunnel curves around. Starts heading down. What he's doing?
Head down.
Okay, as you start heading
I'll
down.
follow.
You start heading down further and further. You can feel the rotations getting wider as you get further down. Francis, since you're in the lead, can you make me a spot hidden roll?
Oh, boy.
Let's try.
Oh wait, hold on. Hold on, no, hold on.
House rule. House rule.
69. Yep, that's a
Yep.
success. So as you slowly put your foot forward and just touch one of these slabs, you can feel a tiny, tiny little bit of movement under your foot. So only slab you felt that's actually moved, but you can feel this slight, tiny little bit amount of movement.
Step back.
Just as you step back and you lift your foot off it, large blades fly out of the wall in front of you and retract into the wall. They're almost at knee height.
Step over this step right in front of me. Otherwise, you're going to get stuck with some blades. And step over that stepping down. Or
She's looking out
the
at it,
distance.
a double layered trap. Right, that first one's like the blades come out. Then step over it.
Did it look flames?
I wouldn't put it past him.
Ian.
Yep.
Is my reanimated hand fully working now?
Yep, the hand's fully working. In fact,
Can I-
make me a perception roll. I know you've got a godlike perception, but just in case you fumble an extreme. As you pull your reanimated lizard hand out, it's almost as though it's got slightly bigger or longer almost. It's almost like where you'd severed it at the wrist. It's a wrist and a slightly little bit of a forearm now.
It's the way lizards fucking reform their body. Oh shit. Oh no. Although we can make it our pet.
Our pet?
But yeah, it's
Oh,
still
I'm
sitting
sorry,
there
Kurt, mate.
twitching in front of you.
In Mother Russia, your science experiment is our science experiment. I would like to place him on the ground
Okay.
and tell him to scurry along 10 feet in front of us, so that if he sets off any traps, then
Okay.
poor Manus can take the route.
So, Stephen, as you're standing there, you can see this little green reptilian hand scurry between your legs. Francis, it scurries over your foot, starts scurrying in front of you, and as it hits 4 or 5 tiles in
It
front
gets
of you.
shot at.
Okay, well, you can roll an attack. You can roll a firearms if you wish to shoot at
I'm
it.
sorry, no one said nothing. Something has moved. We know there's vicious, nasty snakes in here. It's what I would do.
Oh, here comes the bad shot again.
An extreme.
Oh.
So as this hand runs in front of you, it's about a foot, 2 foot in front of you. You just pull your gun out. You just fire into it, blow a hole right through the hand, and it just flattens to the ground. You can see these blades further down from you fly out the wall, and fly back in.
What is your problem in shooting hands?
I didn't know what it was.
That's
We know
my
there's
hand.
snakes in.
That's my
You,
hand. And you've shot my hand.
you didn't tell me you were putting it down. I didn't know what it was. I felt
Let's
something move and I shot at it.
let's have this conversation at a different time, right? We've got more pressing matters.
Literally, right on the floor.
Anyway, is that hand dead, Ian?
No, as you look at it, you can see like some of the fingers are still twitching and begin to move, pull itself forward. Just 2 of the 5 fingers are moving at the moment, and it's just trying to pull itself forward.
Damn it.
Tragic, man.
That's not right.
Didn't you see proximal?
That was just wrong as well.
It's science.
It's actually very interesting.
Speak for yourselves. No, it's no. Dead things are dead. End of. Let's keep moving.
You're saying dead things are dead, which yes, they probably should be. But to quote what you've been calling it, we've fought 2 big forms of goop. I think we need to be expecting that there's some things that are weird in the world, and this is actually one of the interesting ones. Although it does look a bit bigger, and I'm a bit concerned.
That's
Do
for
lizards not normally regrow their body parts?
Oh, yes.
So are we expecting this thing to become a fully sized lizard?
I don't know. I'm not an expert in it.
And that's why I'm asking Victor.
Well, the creatures seemed more serpentine, but reptiles may have that capability.
Well, guess we'll find out sooner rather than later. Is he still alive? Like, I think he is. He looks a little bit hurt though.
Yeah, that's kind of what happens when you get shot.
Wait, did the spikes not get him?
No, the spike. He's too small for the spikes. They're probably coming through about knee height.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, as it starts dragging itself over, you can see like another set of blades flish out the wall and swish back in, and drags itself. It's still dragging itself forward. You can see the large gaping hole is leaving blood trails along the ground,
Madness, darling, come back.
and it stops and it just slowly starts pulling itself around. It turns around to you. It starts pulling itself back towards you. And as it gets back, you can see 3 sets of blades flying out the wall and back in.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk forward when it gets close enough to us and avoid the steps that it's triggered, and pick it up, and I'm gonna go put it in my medical bag. And while still walking, I'm gonna keep my eyes swallowed, but slowly bandage them back up and stuff, and try help him a little bit.
Okay, so since you've managed to see all these trigger points that fire the blade, you're able to step over them as you start passing over each one of these blades. You start heading further and further down the spiral. It's getting wider. The circular's getting down. You feel probably by this point you've passed ground level. You're actually probably well under the ground. The spiral starts heading down, and then eventually you come to what almost looks like a large chamber. It's about 20 foot wide by about 20 to 40. No, probably about 20 to 40 foot long. And you can see a large pile of snakes, almost as though a pit are falling. You see holes in the walls. The snakes are slithering out and dropping into this large pit.
Oh shit. Any ideas, anyone?
Grenades, dynamite.
Right, let's not be hasty. There might be a path around. Ian, am I able to scan the chamber and see if there's like any sort of like, this is gonna sound ridiculous the way I'm describing this, like a kind of a Lara Croft, like Tomb Raider type way that we can get across that's supposed to be used.
The ledges that you shot me across are just painted yellow at the edge.
Yeah. There's like a cloth that's thrown over the edge of the bit we climb up on.
Make a spot hidden roll for me.
It's kind of worrying that there's a blade trap with 12 damage written in it.
I know.
Sorry, I clicked the wrong button. Eh,
Yeah.
but yeah, as you look across, now you can't really. If you look at this pit, it's about 20 foot wide. This is full width of the corridor. The room's about 40 foot wide, but this pit of snakes is like 20 foot in the middle of it. So it's full width, but not full length.
Hmm.
But because your doctor has got a godly spot hidden, as he looks around, he can notice that there is carvings in the wall, very similar to the carvings you've seen at the bottom of the pits that you climbed down into. There's the scenes of a large, a serpent person wearing a crown, carrying a scepter. You can see these almost a Bigfoot-esque creatures being whipped by snakes or people building this temple. And if somebody makes me, who's got the lowest intelligence in the group?
My intelligence is 65.
Mine's a 60.
Mine's a 65.
Okay, well, Doctor, can you make me an intelligence roll?
I did not expect. I expected you to have the highest, mate.
I've got my education's at 80.
Oh, yeah.
Looking at these, you could theoretically maybe get your fingers in these and use them to help you climb along the walls, these engravings. They follow right along the whole entire temple wall. It'd be hard, but you could climb along them, passing over all the snakes.
You see something there, Doctor?
Yes, there seems to be some sort of Lara Croft style edge that we can.
Oh, I love that game. Oh yes, the edges with the yellow bit on them. Got it. No, I, don't be wrong. I like a good climb. But is that the only way that it looks we are able to cross this area without encountering the snakes?
Anyone else noticed that the DM's forgone the glass and gone straight to just the bottle?
Yeah, it's that bad. The Lara
Well,
Croft
just
comments.
listen to us.
Yeah, the Lara Croft. But so you could theoretically climb down, yeah, into the snake pit and make your way through. Uh, that's always an option.
Is there any like
Hmm.
loose pieces of rock that are around the floor?
Yeah, there's a lot of loose. There's some loose stones and some loose rubble, but nothing major.
I walk to the edge of the pit and like kick a few pieces of rock in to see if it triggers anything, like if the snakes react to it or anything like that.
You can see some of the snakes snap at it, and you can also see like some snakes coming out of the walls and dropping into the pit throughout the carvings that you were looking at.
They're in the walls. Don't one of you have one of those magic fire sticky things? Why not set these bits?
I
on?
certainly do.
I have a strange idea.
Uh-huh.
The DM, this is a question for you just before going into this explanation. See these snakes?
Mhm.
See within the area that the snakes are, how much would 10 yards cover?
Eh, it would
I think you
probably
said it
cover
was
them
like
all.
an area of 20. I'll cover them all. Okay. Yeah, I have an idea. The powder that you seen me make earlier. If we can get a fire in there, and I can get some of that in that the dust in the flames, there's a chance that all the snakes might go to sleep.
I'm happy to use dynamite or grenades. Take your pick.
I'm easy Ozy, but it's an option. Don't get me wrong, not all of them will fall asleep. I can imagine some of them will, and Ian, that's going to be a cunt for you to make every snake roll a power roll against me. But it's an option.
How
I would also do
deep's
the climb.
How deep's the pit that we can see?
You can't see the bottom of it. All you can see is this pile of writhing snakes.
Okay, no, maybe not.
It's just a big mating ball.
How far down is the top of the snakes that we can see at the moment?
The top of snakes are about a foot below where you are at the moment, but you don't know
Oh
how.
no. So literally, they're right near the top at the moment.
They're about a foot away from the lip that you're standing on. But you don't know how deep that could be. That could be a 20-foot deep hole full of snakes. It could be a foot deep or an inch or two deep. You can't see the
I don't
bottom of
care.
it.
I don't care. They're a foot away from the top. The dynamite ain't going to happen. I thought we had more space to play with. We put dynamite in there. It's on top. It's going to go, and the snakes aren't going to likely to get damaged enough or sleep enough for them to really think about it. You disturb them, they're going to come out and get us. So no, stuff that one.
Especially since the surviving snakes will get blown around the room.
Yep.
Hold on, did we say we're not blowing the snakes up? Just making
Yep.
sure I got that. Okay, yeah, got that. So that means the options are either I try and put them to sleep or we climb.
We climb.
What do you think, Doctor?
Well, I'm not very good at climbing, but we try.
Things frozen again.
We've lost Cammy again. I
Yeah,
do
he's
apologise
frozen.
for my technical issues. These computers fucked.
It's not. It's not my computer, Ian. It's
Yeah.
I'm on my phone because my Mac
Be-
broke.
Because your computer is fucked.
Yeah. Well, not my main computer, just the Mac which I was using. But so this may happen from time to time. Just for anyone watching, I do apologise, but I really can't control it. But anyway,
You can turn the sleep off on your phone so it doesn't turn itself off.
it's not turn. I'm turning it off because everything freezes, and I'd
Right.
rather not just be sitting in limbo for ages hoping that I come back. It's just easier for me to just bail and then come back. So
Okay.
again, apologies for anyone who's watching this who finds that annoying.
I'd be happy if we went a week without any technical issues, but we've not had that so far, so I don't ever see that changing.
Don't get me wrong, like I am going to be investing in like a camera, like a microphone anyway. It's just like saving for a house at the minute. Like I'm trying to avoid any expense where and when I can, but I think I'm just going to do it because it's too much of a pain to use my phone.
We're our 4th week into our first ever live stream. Come on. I've never done this before. I'm expecting technical issues.
Yeah.
Hey, well, mine's has been fine so far. Fuck you guys.
Yeah.
But you've got like internet that like is like godlike.
I want to upgrade it again.
Yeah, I want to
Fucking
go.
asshole.
I want to go to 500 meg. But
Should upgrade your GPU first. 3080 crew. Anyway, sorry.
So-
where were we?
so you're standing in front of this pit. You've kind of narrowed down your options to either putting them to sleep or climbing along the walls.
Actually, good question, right? See, if I was to make a small fire
Mhm.
on the bridge where I am right now, would that get them below?
Possibly.
I can try it.
Read your spell and find out what it does. Stop
No,
asking the DM for everything.
No, it says within 10 yards of the fire.
Well,
Yep, which would include us.
One
Yeah, but if
yard.
you stand away from the fire,
1 yard is 3 foot roughly. So it'd be around about 30 feet.
so you'd be able to get all the snakes without a problem.
right? Should I try this?
So we need to be how far away from it?
Stand further than 10 yards away from the fire.
I'm backing up out the way.
Do you,
Right.
do you
I
have
will
a
start.
fire source as well?
Sorry.
Do you have a fire source or would just a match do?
Well, I just need to make just a really small, amount of flames. So a little bit of kindling match that I've got, that'll be fine.
Good.
Keep in mind, this might not work, but it's worth a shot. So just once they I mean, I know they don't need to wait till they back up, but once they back up, just so they feel comfortable, I'll then start putting together just a little bit of kind of kindling, taking out some like page from my notepad and stuff in my bag, and just kind of start, just planting it in the area, and then I'll light it on fire. I'm assuming the flame comes up easy peasy. There's no magic in here that stops any flames, no?
It's absolutely fine.
Perfect.
You get a
Cool.
little flame
Right.
going.
once it pops up, how many things do I have in this? I can't remember. 4. Okay. I'll take one of the portions, what we're going to call it, of coyote dust,
Yep.
and I'll just kind of sprinkle it into the fire.
Okay, can you make me a power roll?
I can. Hard to tell.
Hard success. And they failed, the snakes. So the snakes, you can see them all begin to move, and they'll begin to move a bit more sluggish. And eventually they'll all just stop moving. And you can hear they just all go silent. But
Cool.
while this happens, can you roll me a 1d10?
Well, I need to roll 3d10 for how long they're asleep.
Yep. So can you roll that 3d10 and then roll me a separate 1d10?
Yes, I can. So 3d10. They're asleep for 9 minutes.
Okay.
Fucking 2 twos, man. Bastard. Right, and another d10.
Yep. Okay. So you gain an additional 8 points of power.
Oh, interesting. Like,
Yes.
like my max power score.
Yes, your power score goes up. Also,
Nice.
before I forget, Mark, can you also roll me a d10? Because there's something you have to remember. If you roll critical and luck, remind me you have to make a roll d10 for power.
Okay.
Excellent. I've got 83 power now. Love it.
4.
So, Mark, you gain another 4 in power.
Nice.
So, if you ever win a contested power roll or a critical on a luck roll, you gain a d10 in power.
Good to know.
Awesome.
Okay.
But cool. Also, Ian, it doesn't say this in the spell. Like, see when the snakes fall asleep, or just when anything falls asleep under coyote dust. Would I know that it's 9 minutes?
You would know you have a good amount of time.
Okay, cool. Right, that'll do. Even if it's just a rough ballpark.
Yep.
But cool. After I put that in and I hear it all go quiet, I'll shout around to the others. Right, I think we can go. They all sound asleep. Come on, let's move it.
Okay. Guess we're going.
Okay, so
Cool. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go
so
first.
who's heading in first?
It'll be the guy who cast the spell.
I was about to say I'll go first since I cast the spell.
Okay, so as you slowly start climbing down this foot into the snakes, you can feel your feet dropping deeper and deeper into these snakes. You're now, as your eventually feet touch the bottom, you're standing waist deep in snakes.
Oh my god, that's fucking horrible.
They're up to your waist. You can feel them move as you slowly start moving. You can feel them sliding across your body as you start.
That's making me feel so uneasy. Like, mate, that's not nice. Like, ugh. Right.
With
We're
each
back.
step, you can slowly almost swimming through them. You can feel them pushing out your way.
Fucking hell, man.
You can feel their scales of their skin slowly move against you. Slowly move against your legs. But eventually you make your way to the other side, crossing the 20-foot. Eventually start pulling yourself out up onto the ground. You can feel them inside your clothes. You can feel them everywhere across you. You eventually pull yourself clear.
Cool. Was that just me, or was there anyone else behind
That's just you.
Okay.
What the other two
Right.
do now, you've seen Stephen do this.
There's another way across.
I'm gonna go to the edge, right? And instead of climbing in, I'm gonna lie across the edge, so I'm like parallel with it, and I'm just gonna roll off, and then use them as like basically a big springy mattress, and just roll myself across the top of them.
Okay, can you make me a luck roll, please?
I sure can.
Oh no, you're gonna wake them up.
Okay,
Actually, I don't know if
99.
they can be waking up because it's a deep slumber.
Loud noises or violent activities near the sleeper may wake them up prematurely.
Oh, no. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I rolled a 99.
A 99. So as
Yep.
you land on these and you start rolling over them, slowly sliding over your belly, you can feel one of the snakes beside you slowly start moving. Its head rears up and it looks at you. Because you're probably in about the middle of these snakes. What would you like to do?
Is it just the one that's moved?
Just the one you can see at the moment.
How close is it to me?
It's about 2 or 3 feet away from you, but it's looking straight at you.
I'm gonna quickly grab my the long custom made flaying knife that I've got,
Okay.
like surgical knife, and I'm just gonna swing out and see if I can behead it.
Okay. Make me a fighting brawl roll, please.
See, he's doing this. Ian, see just before we get into the details of that, very good roll by the way. Before we get into that, as he's doing this, can I search my bag to see if I've got rope?
You can make me a luck roll, but as you're looking in your bag and you start searching it, you can see the doctor pulling out his knife and slashing the snake's head off. You can feel the snakes underneath you all begin to move slightly. You can feel almost like a wave as these creatures begin to wake up, but you're in the middle of them. What are you doing?
Well, I rolled a 66 on my luck for rope.
Yep. So you
Yeah.
have rope in your bag.
I will throw it down. I will throw it down so that it's there for him to use. Doctor, grab the rope.
So this rope lands next to you. Doc, what are you doing?
As a doctor, would I have any? Is it chloroform?
You probably would have
Usually.
chloroform or ethanol or something like that.
Can I grab a bottle of that out? Put my wrap one of my arms around the rope and bring it down to my face so that my sleeve covers my mouth and my nose, and
Okay.
just spray this everywhere around me.
Okay, can you make me a dexterity roll?
That's my lowest stat, so no, I can't.
Oh well,
Oh no.
I rolled
wait,
a
no, that
natural
wasn't good.
100. Even though you failed, I failed a lot worse than you did. So as you grab onto this rope and you start throwing your ethanol and chloroform all over the place, getting dragged forward by Steven, the snakes start almost getting confused and they start biting at each other and just not sure what's going on. Start lashing out, biting at each other. Stuff as you finally make it to the other edge, cleared of all the snakes.
I'll stand up on the edge, brush myself off. So glad we got through that. I feel sorry for anyone that Wait, where's Francis?
What? I'm in.
Still there? Discord's doing that weird ass thing where it decides to reboot itself every 2 minutes.
Raging E's natural 100, man. He's gone.
He's quit.
He's gone skis,
Oh
man.
no, Discord's been an absolute pain today. So, as you look around, you can see Francis standing on the other side. What are you going to do, Francis?
I'm going to tell you two to move out the way. I'm going to back up. I'm going to let you stick a dynamite and drop it in those fuckers. I don't give a shit anymore.
Okay.
I'm done.
They are covered in ethanol and that as well, so this is going to go kaboom.
So you guys better run.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll start fastly back in technically going forward, but
Okay. So make a. Oh, what would you say? Are you want to throw it into the middle of the snakes, or do you want to just
No.
drop over the edge?
Yeah, literally, I'm backing up about 30 foot, standing at the edge and just dropping it and basically going back against the wall, making a small ball going, fuck, hope this works.
Okay. So
see, Ian just quickly sees this is happening, like because we'll have seen this. Like I'm just going to turn to Victor and go, he's a bit mentally unhinged, isn't he?
He likes to shoot things for no reason, so I'd say yes.
Yeah, we need to keep an eye on him. He's a loose cannon.
okay. So I'm not sure what to make you roll for this. Make a a fighting brawl roll. That might be the best idea.
Okay. I've actually got one for dynamite.
Yeah, so you've got to throw for dynamite, but you don't have to throw this because you're just dropping it in.
Yep.
Okay, so with a success and 35 damage, as you blow this up, as you drop this dynamite in, you can see it land on top of the snakes. It slowly starts disappearing below the snakes. You can hear the sizzle of the fuse as you run back and you dive and pull yourself into a little ball. You think to yourself, probably one of the last thoughts that goes through your head is, "Oh fuck, that dog used alcohol." Then
Oops.
there's an ridiculously loud bang. You can feel the earth underneath your feet vibrate. You can feel the heat of the flames burning up across your body as it slowly ignites and passes past. Yeah. But
We just created an improvised Moab.
So you just done Fluffernutter from Critical Role.
There's actually a bomb in real life where it sprays out, like I think it's like petrol or something. I'm not sure what the actual thing is, but it sprays out everywhere, and then it ignites and detonates the bomb, and it detonates all of the gas as well. And that's basically what we've just done in here.
Do you know what's ridiculous about this as well? Like you just jumped the gun. I was gonna try and just put them to sleep again so you could climb through peacefully, but hey, like what did I know?
Doc tried that and they woke up. I wasn't taking any fucking risks.
He fucking jumped onto them like a trampoline.
Did not.
so, is
I
it
crawled
rolled
Can-
through and I was fine.
can everybody make me a dex roll?
We backed up nice and far though.
Made it. Survived. Goodbye.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So, Mark, as this goes up, so Francis, as this explosion goes off, you're engulfed by flames. What is your current health?
12.
12. Luckily, you only take 11 points of damage as these flames burn over you.
He's
I
got
missed what
12
happened.
health, and they take 11 damage.
Wow. So the explosion got him then.
Oh yes, flames got him. You're engulfed in flames, but as flames suddenly recede back into the pit where the dynamite went off, you can see there's no snakes left. This pit. Well, there is snakes, but they're over the walls, over the roof, over you, over Frances, over the doctor. They're over everything as they're all blown apart. But you can see this pit's about 6 foot deep.
Mentally unhinged.
I
Yeah.
don't care. I'm legging it for where those two are.
As you run forward, drop into the pit, run across the pit where there's burned snake carcasses, there's snake blood everywhere. You eventually pull yourself out the other side of the pit, beside the other ones. You can
You're
see-
right.
Ow.
You know,
Ow.
what I was gonna say, could try and put them to sleep again.
Ow. I wasn't waiting. Let's get on with this.
So
Ow.
so rather than wait, you would rather be covered in flames and potentially and a lot third degree burns.
It seemed like a good idea at the time. Let's just get on with this.
Right, like before we go, like we can't walk on with you like that. Victor, is there anything you can maybe do to help his condition here?
There's plenty I can do. I've got this syringe full of this chemical.
What does it do?
It's what I used on Proximal and Menace.
No.
Fine. Put it away. I will do extensive medicine on, like, first aid and medicine on them.
Okay. Well,
If
roll
I
me
need
a
to-
first aid.
If I need to, I would like to spend a decent amount of time because he is pretty much fucked.
Okay,
Yep.
well, roll it for me anyway. Roll now.
Hard
Okay.
success.
So with a hard extend, you're going to spend the time taking it. If you're all going to sit down, rest, things like that. You'll get back 6 points of health if you're using medicine. 4
Correct,
if
yeah.
he's using first aid. If you're using both, if you want to spend an hour or two, you could probably get back 10 points.
Would it be more if I looked at the extreme?
Yep. Well, no,
Yeah,
if taking the time, you'd automatically get maximum health point. If you
yeah.
spend an hour, then you would get back 10. If you want
Okay.
to just press straight on, then you would get back, with an extreme, you'd get back maximum 4.
No, I'll take the time to get him the 10.
Okay. So you spend an
Um,
hour sitting here.
but
Snake
DM
everywhere.
just open question quickly again. I'm just double checking on magic points for timing again because obviously this fluctuates with me. Like when we came into the spiral, I was in 10. That hour is instantly 1.
Yep.
Would we have been doing this for about an hour, so I'd be on 12, or is it 11?
I'd say about 12 by the time you've walked
12.
down here and things like that.
Cool,
Okay.
got it.
But you spend the hour patching them up. Francis no longer has eyebrows. Or very much hair left. It's all singed and things. These clothes are all no longer looking fine. They're all burnt at the edges, such like. But what are you going to do? You've got the corridor in front of you.
It is easy to see up the corridor.
Well, the corridor seems to slope down. You can see down to the corner, but you can't see anything further than the corner.
Still the same dark tunnels.
On the walls, am I able to see like any sort of like carvings or like any sort of language text written on the walls, anything like that at all?
Other than the scenes with the serpent person wearing a crown and a scepter,
Frozen
that
again,
you've
haven't
seen
I, for
before,
God's sake?
there's nothing new here. But sorry, I've got bad wind. Too much red wine. But yes, apart from the scenes you've seen before, the serpent one with the scepter and the crown, there's nothing new here.
No worries. Victor, what's the name of your hand again? Sorry,
Menace.
Menace. Should we send Menace up this corridor and see if there's any traps again?
Only if he's not getting shot.
I will not shoot him again. Just now.
Fair. It seems fair. Yeah, I'll let Manus scurry along a little bit in front of us.
So, Manus grins. How far ahead are you letting him go?
I'll let him stay the 10 feet in front of us so we can keep an eye on him, and if anything triggers, then we can react to it.
Okay, so you're slowly making your way further and further down. The spiral gets deeper and deeper into the earth. Eventually, Manus passes a corner of your sight. You don't hear anything, you don't see anything. But you feel that you're getting nearer, nearer, deeper onto the ground. And as you slowly pass around a corner, you can see in front of you a large snakehead shaped archway. It's almost like you're stepping into the mouth of a snake. You can see 2 red ruby eyes. They all both begin to glow. You can hear almost a bzzz,
I
and they
step
begin to
back
go.
around the corridor again.
What's everybody else doing?
Everybody in the eyes lit up, and then what happened?
You can hear almost like a buzzing noise starting, and you can hear it building. It's getting bzzz.
Stand perfectly still.
Okay. And what are you doing, Francis? As you can hear this noise, you can see these eyes of the snake glowing. Doctors jumped back around the corridor. Stephen's standing absolutely still.
I'll stand behind Stephen. If anything's gonna hit him, if anything's gonna happen, it's gonna hit him first.
Okay.
Cammy, somebody in the Twitch chat, his message saying, "Cameron, what is this? Please help." Somebody called Gareth. Gary.
What? What's what?
I don't know, they're asking you.
Oh, do you know, I've not even got Twitch loaded up. Like, I'll pull it up on my PC right now. I have absolutely no clue.
So you can hear this is building up, and you can hear the buzzing. Right, 1 second. My macro in Roll20.
Can't hear you, Ian.
Sorry, I was going to say, sorry, my macro in Roll20 is not working for some reason.
Oh, the pink thing. It's Kirby.
It's demonic Kirby when it's sitting in the back, it's fucking gloating in the eye.
Kirby.
Okay, can
Good
I
old
have
Nintendo Kirby?
a Stephen roll me
Also, my
a
Twitch
dex?
is doing a funny again.
And what was that? He just dives
Yeah.
out the way.
You know, I have absolutely decided. I'm just buying a webcam and a microphone for next week. I cannot deal with my phone anymore. What happened?
Okay.
Especially since it's just froze up again.
Can you roll me a dex, Stephen?
The Dex. Success.
Success. Hang on 1 second. I'm just trying to find the right page. Because my macro is not working in Roll20.
I don't think any damage. I'm fine. Easy peasy.
That's what you think. You just take half damage.
Okay, so as this thing seems to like fire 2 beams from the eyes, both smash straight into you. I want you to choose where about in your body this thing hits you.
In the nuts.
Absolutely not.
Right in the dick.
That's the last thing I need is a fucking magical penis, man. Like, oh, I don't know. I can't tell if this is going to be like a good thing, like I get powers, or a bad thing, like I'm gonna lose a hand.
Or gain a foot.
Why am I mental for thinking I want this to hit me square in the chest? Joe, fuck it, take it like a man, hit me in the chest.
Okay.
Joe, the FYI, this is why I die in all our games.
Nah, to be fair, I was killing you.
Are we good for this Twitch stream? Because according to Ian's screen, we're all black.
Yeah, I'm having issues with
We're on here's though.
everybody's cameras. Discord seems to have played up.
Gareth, can you hear us? We're just double checking. If he's still there.
But I think this might be a good point to take our break.
Oh, what? Am I just being left with fucking taking this thing square in the chest?
You have.
Okay.
Okay.
Get hit right in the middle of the chest and grow a third nipple.
So, well, let's take our break and we'll see if we can sort the Discord issues, and then we'll come back in 5 minutes.
Also, thank you, Gareth.
Perfect.
Much love, Gareth.
launch it.
Yee.
So, we are back.
Awesome. Let's go for it.
So, what did you roll, Cammy, for your roll?
Is this my dex roll?
Yeah, your dex roll. So you got a success, and that also got a 10. So,
Yeah, I got 74.
And you
What?
took it right in the nipples.
okay, so as you get blasted in this in the chest with this red energy beam, you take 11 points of damage as you fall to the ground in absolute agony. You can feel that your chest, closing your chest, is burnt away. You've now got this large, open, gaping wound on your chest. You can feel that your skins begin to blister and bubble. It's almost like you've been badly burned on your chest. All the skins are bubbling and blistering. You can feel the blisters popping one by one. You feel the fluid running down your chest. What would you like to do if you're lying there in agony, taking this 11 points of damage?
And just very kind of still, like I almost just picture me just kind of lying there and just smokes just emanating off my chest, just kind of like shouting, "Doctor, what do I do?"
Well, while this is going on, Francis, you can see Stephen lying in front of you on the ground. You can see the smoke coming from his chest. You can see the blisters forming actually on his bare chest. You can see them popping. And as each one pops, there's a scale underneath it.
Oh no!
It's slightly green. You can see the scales forming under each blister that pops. What are you doing?
What are the eyes doing?
The eyes are beginning to glow again.
I'm running through the fucking doorway trying to grab Stephen on my way and drag him.
Okay, well, if you're trying to grab Stephen on your way, can you make a dex roll for me?
Certainly. Hard success.
So you got a hard success, and I got a standard success. So you managed to grab Stephen. You managed to pull him slightly out of the way. His laser hits the ground. You can see the ground like burning. You can see smoke coming off the ground. You just pulled Stephen just out of the way as it just hits the ground where he was, and you're back beyond, just around the corner. What you all doing, Stephen? You're lying there in agony, unable to move. Just pain is burning through your whole entire body.
See if I look at where the blisters are popping, like, and it kind of looks like scales. Does it look like it's starting to spread, like, and move, or is it just scaly, like, and where the blisters were?
Well, as you look down at it and you can see these scales forming underneath these burst blistery skin, fluid leaking all over you, that water you get inside blisters. I need you to make a sanity roll for me.
Good one. Sanya, where are you again? No, fail.
Okay, can you roll a d6 for me? Okay, so you lose 5 points of sanity.
Bout of
Mhm.
madness.
Can you make an intelligence roll?
Six.
Oh,
Suck.
you didn't want to pass that.
I know I didn't. Motherfucker.
Well-
Okay. Okay. How bad is it? Like, I just feel like I'm turning into cut corners from Spider-Man.
Well, you do have two choices. You can either roll on the insanity table, or you can let me pick something. It's up to you.
I cannot want the table.
The table, okay. Well,
I want the chaos, man. Give me the table.
can you roll 3 D100s for me?
3D100.
Yep.
Oh fucking hell. Okay. Oh shit. Hold on. 37, 56, 87.
Okay, so 37 is entomophobia, a fear of insects. Doesn't really apply very much of this. 56. The fear of lakes doesn't really apply in this scenario. Yeah, let's have a look. Okay, so
And
you can have
to just pick one, but like if you want to just pick one, go for it. I just wanted to see what I would get. What was the
no,
87?
87 is question and answer mania, compulsive urge to ask questions. Or we could have
It's just me when I'm on a night out, Doc. Eh? Just constantly annoying people.
That's mostly when you're doing the Velociraptor dance.
Especially when the noises start coming out like that.
so you could have a thermomania, an obsession with giving gifts. Or you could have the compulsive urge to ask questions. Probably the best two out of the lot you've got. What would you like?
Yeah. I'll take the compulsive urge to give gifts.
Okay, so you've now got this urge within you to give gifts to everybody, but you're also badly burnt and you're in a lot of pain. You feel like you can barely move. What is the other two you doing, Francis and the doctor?
When Francis drags him back around the corner, I am going to quickly pull him further in, give him what looks basically like a tongue depressor, a bunch of them taped together, and tell him to bite down on that because this is going to suck. I am going to apply some form of numbing agent, and I'm going to remove my flaying knife from my sheath, and I'm going to start cutting the scales off.
Okay. Well, as you look at these scales, I need you to roll a sanity for me.
Would my hardened thing come into this?
Not at the moment. Harden's more of human-based horror, so human to human damage, so somebody killing someone.
Even the horrific injuries?
Horrific injuries, it depends on where they come from. So if it was somebody else, like, who'd mutilated them, then your harden would have been fine. But because this is a strange mythos thing,
I got a success anyway.
a success, so that's absolutely fine. You take 0 sanity loss. But you do slowly start cutting this skin off Stephen. What's Francis doing? Well, you can see the doctor slowly start trying to pull this snake skin off, carving
Turn
it up.
away, not look.
Okay, so you're turning
I
away
don't
and
want to be
you're
seeing this.
You're turning away.
Do you
You
know
can.
what fun fact, right? The last time I ever take something direct to the chest.
Next time it'll be all over your face.
Yeah. Do you know what? I was hoping I'd get some sort of fucking superpower from it, man. I don't know what I expected. Like,
You're turning into a snake?
yeah, I mean, not really the kind of superpower I was hoping for. That's like, you know, like the kind of like the multiverse Spider-Man when he literally just turns into a big fucking tarantula.
But so as you slowly start carving off the skin of Stephen's body, you're holding him down. You've got your hand on.
If it causes him too much pain, I will apply some morphine as well.
So you've got your hand on his collarbone. You're holding him down. He's numb. He's can't move. He's in agony of this pain. You slowly start carving off this skin, and every bit of skin you carve off, you can see more scales forming with each single cut you make.
Well, this isn't working.
Does it look like it's spreading, Doctor?
I mean, there's already a rash there, but the scales, no.
So with every bit of clean flesh you cut away, you can see it reforms slowly, very slowly, but with scales.
It doesn't seem to be spreading though. It's still in that localized area.
Just in that area, but it seems to be getting more and more scales with every layer of human skin you cut off. There seems to be more scales underneath.
Interesting.
I say we've got two choices. We either let it happen or we shoot him.
Or
What?
or I
What?
do
Why?
have I do have the syringe.
Do you know what it would do to him?
Heavens no. That's what's fun about it.
So your choices are become 2 possible science experiments, or get shot and get put out of your misery and then accept the life that you've had.
Do you know what? This feels like one of those lessons that your mum kind of taught you as a kid: is don't take drugs from strangers. But I'm kind of tempted at this point. Um,
I'm not a stranger, I'm Victor.
no, I wasn't saying that in game, you fucking idiot. Just randomly, Steven turns into a fucking Scottish guy. Good. Okay. Your mom told you not to take drugs. Right, hold on. What's in that syringe? Will it help?
Proteins, a few chemicals, some weird shit.
As you
Yeah.
look at the syringe that he's holding, well, Stephen, as you're looking at the syringe that he's holding, it's a thick green liquid. It's dark here. The only light are from your torches, but this liquid emanates. It almost glows ever so slightly. You can see the green against the darkness. It stands out, and even without a torchlight, you can see the bioluminescence of this green glowing.
With this, there's really two options. It's either you gain some form of power, or you die a horrible, horrible death.
This is why I die in games, because I want to see what happens.
Or we could just bandage you up and continue on.
Or we shoot you.
There's always that option.
Do you think it will kill me?
Sorry?
No, I know the gun would kill me. We're not talking about that. Your
But,
liquid.
The
What
syringe?
could this possibly do?
Many things. It
Good
can-
things or bad things?
well, it's made a finger come back to life and a hand come back to life and start glowing.
And or poor Peter, he melted from the inside out. But we don't need to discuss that.
Ju- Wait, actually, see if I look down at my chest, Ian, like, how is it looking right now? Does it look like, I know I asked this earlier, but now that this is further along, does it look like it's settling in more, it's going to other areas of my body?
You can see the point where you were hit has blistered and popped and left these scales. You can see the area that the doctor has cut at the edges has formed scales, but apart from that, it doesn't seem to be spreading at the moment.
Stephen, my dear friend, would you be interested in a smaller experiment?
I'm listening.
Okay. Francis, could you sit on him just now?
I didn't sign any consent form.
Teabag Stephen.
So
Right,
if
so I've
Francis
been
is
turned.
willing to hold him in place, I'm going to pin his arm down and I'm going to flay a bit of the skin off the back of his hand to see if it regrows with scales.
So as Stephen screams in pain as you slowly carve the bit of skin off his back of his hand. It seems normal.
Well, shit.
You can see the blood pouring out the hand. You can see the secondary, maybe third layer of skin that you're down to. They are raw, bloody. You can see it seeping out. The
Well, I
blood.
should probably clean and bandage just and pour ethanol on it.
Okay, so Stephen, as you feel a burning in your hand, an agonizingly burning. Francis, what are you doing while you're sitting on top of Stephen? And Stephen's compulsing underneath you, screaming, trying to pull his hand away, trying to get almost writhing underneath you.
Oh, fuck it. I'm going to pistol whip him. I'm basically going to knock him the fuck out.
Okay, can you fight Stephen? What
Hey,
are you going to do?
Why is this turned into everyone's just fucking smacking on me right now? I honestly feel like, you know, the bit in fucking Shaun of the Dead where they're just whacking the zombies with a fucking pool cue?
You're screaming at the top of your lungs because you're in absolute agony. I'm fed up listening to it. I want you to shut the fuck up, but you can't, which is why I'm pistol whipping you to knock you the fuck out.
Okay. Can Stephen roll me a fighting brawl? Francis, roll me a fighting brawl with disadvantage.
Wait, what?
Roll fighting brawl with disadvantage.
So
So roll twice, take the lowest.
No, take the highest, wouldn't it? For
Yeah,
disadvantage.
yeah, sorry. Take the highest. Okay, so as you're sitting there, you feel the smack to your skull as you slowly feel your eyes close in, and you slowly feel yourself drifting away from this agony that you've had, where your chest been burned and painful, your hand where the doctors flayed a large section of skin off the back of your hand, and eventually you've been smashed in the head by the back of a handgun. You're feeling yourself woozy, you finally pass out, you're lying there unconscious. Doc and Francis, what are you doing? Stephen's now unconscious underneath Francis.
Boys, I very much appreciate the love and care that's been taken on my character here.
That was nice. I applied morphine and everything to you.
You fucking flayed me without even asking, can you flay me?
I did the only thing I can fucking do. Just pistol whip you and knock you the fuck out.
Why did you have to do something? See, like, let's just think about it this way. You're concerned about me making a lot of fucking noise, right? You just fucking made a little petrol explosion in the fucking previous room. There's no element of surprise here. Everyone knows what's coming. You did not even fucking smack me. Sorry, Ian. Did I take any damage?
Yeah, you'll probably take 3 points of damage.
I've got 3 hit points left.
That's alright. I'm going to spend the next hour patching you up again.
To just give me the same amount you took away from me.
We took away
Bastard.
3.
Anyway.
While he's doing that, I'm aiming, spending time, and shooting the gems out of those snake eyes.
Okay, so you'll have to move around the corner to see these snake eyes. They're around the corner from you. As you slowly move around the corner, I need you to make I need you to make a dodge roll for me.
Dodge. I do have a dodge skill somewhere.
You do. It should be under D. It should be in your first row. I think it's first row, bottom of the column.
Ruh-roh.
I'm going to spend 5 points of luck to make that a success.
Okay, so that has got a hard success. Can you beat a hard success? Do you want to spend the points to just the hard success?
Spend
I'm
the
going to have to. I have no idea what the fuck's going to happen.
Hit him. Please hit him. Please.
You become
I'm going to have to
Okay.
make it a hard success, Ian.
So you make a hard success because you're dodging. You win. This laser hits the ground as you just dive out of the way. It hits the ground right next to your foot. I mean millimeters. I mean a finger's width away from your foot as you dive out of the way. Would you like to make a firearms roll for me? Listen, you're good. Excellent. A hard
Okay.
success. So as you're diving out of the way, and from this shot, from these laser eyes, you manage to shoot off your gun. Do you want to add any extra damage to it? Or you just want to do the 6? With hard.
You're muted.
Just do a 6 with the hard.
Okay, so with the shot, you can see as you're diving out of the way off this laser hitting the ground, you fire off a shot, you can hit one of the eyes, it shatters, you can see bits of glass falling out. One of the eyes, you can see it's still glowing, but you make your way back around the corner.
Would you like to try this? And I hand him a small mirror that I've got and see if he can use it to deflect the next shot.
I'm not that good.
Deflect it towards Stephen.
Is
Just bend it
that,
around.
that's in a bit
Aim
of
it around the
even?
corner so it bounces.
What I can do though is I can use the mirror to try and help aim round the corner.
Fucking episode name for this week sorted straight in my chest.
Get ready for the next shot, Ian.
Okay, so Doc, what are you doing?
Well, he was spending an hour.
Yeah, I'm spending the time.
So you're spending time bent over helping Stephen, trying to get Stephen resolved, trying to get Stephen back unconscious. Can you roll me a medicine, Doc, or first aid, whatever you prefer?
Extreme success.
That's extreme success. Okay, so with an extreme, Stephen, you gain back 6 points of health. Okay, so you begin to feel yourself begin to come together. You still feel the scales on your skin, on your chest where you've been shot. You can feel the back of your hand where the doc has flayed some skin off. You can see almost see through the skin. You can see the tendons and muscles moving.
I did bandage that on that. Like, I'm not gonna leave him with an open wound.
As the doctor's sitting there bandaging it, you can see I'm wrapping up this. Your chest still hurts more than you've ever. It's more pain than you've ever experienced in your life, but you can feel like you can proceed on. Is there anything you well, in fact, let's go back to Francis. Francis, what are you doing? You can see this one eye
Yep.
left of this
Yep.
snakehead.
Same again.
Okay, so as you dive out, can you make me a dodge roll? Is this thing you can hear it begin to glow and begin to pulsate? You can hear the bzzz. Don't worry yet.
Sure you don't want to use that mirror?
It wouldn't have made any difference.
Lucky
So-
motherfucker.
So because we both failed, because we've only got one eye now, we're down to 60%, not 80%.
Where to God if you beat this thing hit me?
So as you dive out and this thing shoots at your foot, you manage to dive just out the way. You roll across the ground. You look up at it. You can hear it begin to like almost sputter. You can hear the bzzz, 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 bzzz. And if you can make a firearms roll for me.
Certainly. Oh, man.
Roll deal.
You got a 7 and I got a hard success. So as this thing hits you, this laser fires out, it hits you. Where would you like it to hit you?
In the
In
chest.
the left hand.
So as it hits your hand, you can feel your hand burn. You can feel this blisters forming on all across your palm of your hand. Each one begins to slowly build up. You can feel the fluid building up inside the blister, and then you can feel the pop, and you can feel the liquid running down your hand. You can see under each blister a scale. A secondary blister forms, begins to build up and pops. There's an additional scale. Another
really-
blister forms, and you can hear the pop. Eventually, your whole hand blisters and pops and reveals scales. And I need you to roll a d6 sanity roll.
Ian sees this is going on.
Yep.
I'm going to go into my bag and I'm going to just take out a blank notepad and I'm going to go up to Victor. I'm going to just give it to him going, I really like some of your ideas, so I thought I'd give you this gift so you can write more of them down. I'm really interested to hear more. Thank you very much. And you just throw it away.
Okay, so Mark, as you roll a hard success on your sanity roll, you only take 1 point of sanity damage. As your hand is now blistered, and you can see each finger begin to blister and pop and form scales. You can see your nails growing slightly longer into almost
Yeah.
talons and claws.
Now
Yes.
we've got a slight issue that you're going to have to shoot your own hand. You
Oh,
shot
Doc,
you
Doc,
shot my hand when I had the gold snake on it. You shot Manus, who was a snake hand. Now you've got a snake hand.
Doc, just put the green liquid in his hand and see what happens.
I was aiming for the scepter in the first time. I didn't know what that fucking hand was, so I shot it. And then again, I didn't know what it was. It was crawling over my foot or whatever, so I shot at it.
You also take 5 points of damage.
Nice.
Is
How
this
does he get 5? And I took so much. I took it straight to the chest. Ignore that question.
you have a far better roll than he did. From my point of view, not yours. Yeah. But yes, you feel the agonizing pain as your hand begins to bubble, your nails begin to extend slightly almost into claws as your whole entire palm of your hand, halfway around the side of each finger, is now scaled as the blisters form and pop.
Francis, my dear fellow, would you like
Uh-huh.
a small experiment?
Not right now. Let's just get on with this and get through this as quickly as we can and get the fuck out of here. And I'm shooting that awry again.
Okay, can you make a firearms roll for me?
This is going to be tragic if you miss, mate.
In specialist instance.
Fuck's sake!
So with a 95,
Uh-huh.
luckily it's not a fumble because you're over score 50. Yes, this laser shoots at you again. You manage to just slightly jump to the side as this laser hits the ground. You can feel the side of your shoe slightly burning, but you don't feel any additional damage. You're back beside the doctor and Stephen's body, semi-conscious at the moment, but you're standing there, hand blistered, popping, each blister popping and releasing new golden, red, green, blue scales all over your hands.
See as I see him come around the corner. Oh, that looks so. Well, you're probably going to want to cover that up when you're in public places. I'll go in my bag and I'll give him a glove.
Okay, so you pull out a glove and hand it to him.
You've got two choices. We can either inject you with a syringe, or we can shoot you now.
Let's hold off on all that.
No.
You were quite adamant earlier on.
Yeah. There is the option of let's just hurry up and get through this shit. Let's deal with this afterwards.
No. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think we should play him.
I did want to try cut his pinky off to see if it would regrow.
We do have another option. We cut it off here.
Well,
Okay.
would you like to try the pinky first?
No, because it's already infected.
Yeah, but we're not sure if your whole hand will regrow. So if we cut the pinky off, we can see if it's just the skin that regrows, like Stevens did, or if the whole bone and muscle regrows. And if that's the case, when we cut your hand off, it might regrow back into a snake hand.
It's funny. I've just noticed, like, see on Twitch, you can see your name, Meatsack, at the bottom corner on your thing. Just for anyone who's wondering, who's ever watching this, that's Doc's character in my SW5E campaign, which will be coming out in podcast eventually. A little bit of a plug.
It just looks like can being called a meat sack.
Yeah. Is in case anyone sees it, they're like, what the fuck's going on? Wait,
I'm
hold
gonna
on.
try-
Are you actually wanting your pinky cut off?
No, burn around the corner again, Ian, and I'm fucking shooting his eye. I will get it eventually.
Can you roll your firearms for me?
Hard success.
Okay, so as you jump around the corner and you fire off this gun. Definitely, yeah, you shoot the secondary eye, it shatters, and you can hear the it's like something's powered down.
Right. Now that's dealt with.
How many shots did that take you, Francis?
First time.
4.
First try, you took it both of them.
Much worse than I would have been able to do. Very, very well. Oh, I feel like shit.
You look like shit.
You can't
Look better than you, old man.
Yep, that's fair.
Oh,
I know I wanted an adventure on this one, but hey, this is a whole new world.
No. Do you know what? Like, I was a fucking idiot because I seen that attack coming. I knew it was coming, and given my background and my interest in what I'm trying to achieve, I thought for some reason if that thing hit me, I would gain some sort of power. Fuck knows why. That's a lesson I've learned. Don't let strange snakeheads shoot you in the chest.
Well, technically, you did because you're grown snake scales.
You've got a point, but like, I mean, I've got a wife back home. Do you know what I mean? Like, how's this going to look like when we're getting down to the fun times, and then
She's gonna have a scaly time then.
I've got a fucking tail. Do you know what I mean? Like,
You can just turn around and say, "Hey, honey, get in bed. I'm going to slither in."
to take the revolver.
Alright, come on then, let's go. Are you okay to walk, Stephen?
Yeah, I'll be all right. Sure, but
I really want to cut your pinky off. Really badly.
Cut.
So you cut your pinky off. It's covered in scales. The palm side of it. You hand it to the doctor. If you look where your pinky was, you can see there's almost a stump now. After a couple of seconds of up to almost the first knuckle, you can see it's covered in scales. You can see that after a second or two, up to the next knuckle forms. Then the last form of your pinky, it forms into a large just claw-like nail on the end of it, and it's completely covered in scales.
There we go. We know what happens. Let's move.
I'm just standing there stroking Manus and be like, "Look, Manus, you have something to bond over now. You're both the same."
If you look at Manus, you can see that the hole in the back of his hand where it was shot is almost completely healed. It's now almost like where it was like the size of a 50 pence piece, £2 coin. Is it bullet blown through? Is now like the size of a 5 pence piece. It's small. It's just almost like a small hole, and you can see that it's now not just the arm, the hand. It is not just like it's full wrist and hand, and the finger twitch as each one forms. But Francis, sorry, Stephen, as you're standing here, you can feel your chest scratching, itching. You can feel your skin hurting. You can feel it was raw around about the scales that you've got formed above you on your chest. It's like you feel the urge to scratch them, like almost like psoriasis. It's just you can't help but scratch at these, and you can feel your nails pull across the snake skin. It's rough. It's soft, but it's rough, and you can feel each individual scale as your fingers rub across it. Francis, as you look at your hand, you can feel your nails growing slightly longer. You can feel your hands turn almost into talons and claws with this left hand you've had done. Your pinky now is almost at the knuckle joint in front of you, the first knuckle joint where you've removed it, but it's growing back. It's tight, it's hard, but it feels almost like there's a renewed strength in it. A strength you've never felt in your hand before. The scars that covered your hand from multiple uses of your gun. Every time you fired this gun, it's sliced you, it's cut you, it's hurt, it's taken a part of you into this gun. It feels almost like there's a weight lifted, that it's not part of you anymore. It's part of something more. It's beyond you. But you feel all these slight cuts, almost like hundreds upon hundreds of paper cuts you've had throughout your life since you've had this gun are almost all gone. You feel that no matter what, it's slices nothing but beyond you. It's beyond you, beyond your understanding. But you're standing there in this hallway. You can see both the snake mouth wide open, both the snake eyes shattered. You look in front of you, you can see through the snake's mouth a large room. There's a stepped pyramid in front of you. On top of this stepped pyramid, it's what looks like almost a reptilian snake person, looking almost about 7 foot tall. She has a large crown on her head, a hood up over her, and a staff in her hand. You can see the step dais in front that she's placed on top. Do apologize, excuse me. Each of them are curved as though organic but not organic. As it spirals up, it's a representation of the tower you've seen from outside, but from inside this tower. And you can see this large spiral dais leading up to this body sitting on almost a throne on top. What are you going to do?
All hail, Snake Lady.
Assuming that's the mummy we're here to get.
See, just based off what you said, Ian, like, so I kind of got a bit lost in translation. I know the most of that was about Francis. See, if I look at my hand, if I got a normal hand,
You've got a definitely normal hand, yeah. Your chest,
You just have itchy babies.
your chest and is itchy. It's sore
Okay, cool.
to physically
Just double
touch.
checking.
It's sore to physically touch, but when you do touch it, you can feel the scales, almost like psoriasis. I don't know if you've ever had psoriasis where your skin's dry, you feel it cracking, you feel it scaly, you feel sections flaking off of your skin. Right? But that's what your chest feels like.
No worries. Does it look like the pathway to get to the mummy is relatively open and clear?
Definitely, it looks almost like the tower that you've seen outside, a spiral corkscrew leading up to this throne sitting on a dais on top of it. You could walk up the spiral, you could climb up it, up each of the steps. They're curved, almost like a snake curled around the spiral all the way up to the top.
Right. Who wants to take the turn of going and getting the mummy?
I'll do it. Nothing else to lose.
So let's
It's
not be
not
too.
entirely true. If you're not careful when you go to the bathroom, you could lose something very important with those claws.
Yep. Guess I'm going in.
So how are you heading up? You're going to climb up each one of these layers of the spiral, or you're going to walk around the spiral all the way to the top.
I'm going to walk all the way round.
So as you eventually walk all the way up the spiral, it's a very representation of the external tower you've seen inside. And you walk up and you see this lizard snake person sitting on top of the throne, and you put your hand out and touch hers. She crumbles to dust. The ground. Well, in fact, what the other two is doing while Francis is making his way up.
I mean, I was under the
that leaves in you.
yeah, I was under this understanding. Me and Victor just stayed together and hadn't moved.
Okay, so you're just standing at the entrance to this large room, and Francis slowly makes his way up and eventually touches this snake. Francis, you just look at this, you can see that it seems almost like a snake skin. It's hollow. It's empty. It is almost as though a snake or a reptile has shedded its skin. But as your fingers reach out and you touch it and it crumbles to dust, you can see the throne made out of a stone material, a large hole in the stone leading to. You can't really tell where it leads to, but there's a hole in it. All three of you feel the ground underneath your feet vibrate. And what looks like almost like a carving of stone, almost like part of the dais begins to snap and crack, pull itself away, and this 120-foot long snake, 30 foot wide, begins to pull its head back from the dais and look up and look towards Francis. As the whole dais, you can see the snake is coiled around the dais to the ground, 120 foot long. This immense snake pulls up in front of you. You can see its eyes looking straight at you. As it opens its mouth, you can see the fangs firing forward. The tongue flashes out, licks the air around you, and pulls back in. And I think we'll call it quits there for tonight.
Bye, Francis.
You never know, man. You've got a mad lizard thing, Kay. Like, it might figure one of its own.
If it turns towards me, I'm just going to say I did say, "Oh, hail, snake lady."
Just give it a mini me from what was it, Austin Powers, whatever that movie's in, and just be like, hello. No, that was a good game, Ian. Thank you very much.
Not a problem.
That fucking that I could feel walking through that pit of snakes, mate. Honestly, I could feel it. I'd like see the way you described that. I could honestly feel it. Like it just felt. I felt thick, man. Like I don't know what it was. Like it made me so uncomfortable.
Watching both of you cringe was hilarious.
Yeah, that made my night.
do you know what it was though, right? Like the thing about it was like the way you described it. I like, mate. I'm even getting it right now. Like,
Can we just picture if it was leeches instead?
fuck off. No, we shall not picture that. We shall never picture that for as long as the show goes on. Please don't throw any leeches at me, and I can't deal with it. You'll actually see me whitey, man, on stream.
So
He's taking notes.
For anyone not from Scotland, whitey means sick. I don't think that's used elsewhere.
So I think we've reached a nice point. I think next week will be the end of chapter 1, our Bolivia campaign. Then we'll maybe take a week break, and then we'll head back to New York to continue from there
Okay.
for chapter 2.
If we survive.
Well,
Some of us might.
as I always say, if you've got more than 30 luck, you'll be okay.
Yeah,
Only
I'm
just.
fine.
Only just.
You say that, but that 30 luck saves you what, from one death.
Yes.
So
Anyway, but yeah, so yeah, in terms of playing, we will absolutely be playing next week, and then we'll work out what the schedule looks like after that. But for everyone who's been here in the chat and just everyone who's been watching along, thank you very much. We will be back live next week at the exact same time. And until next week, take it easy, guys. Bye bye.
And we'll also be on YouTube on Thursday.
Oh well, I announced that earlier on, so yeah. But we'll be on YouTube on Thursday. Don't forget, book in your calendars. Gareth will be expecting a view from you, my friend.
All right. Good
See
night.
you later, guys. Bye bye.
Bye.